Hey friends, and welcome to Storytime. Today's book is an excellent story called Horace by Holly Keller. Horace by Holly Keller. For Susan. This book was dedicated to a person named Susan. Horace lived in a small pink house with his parents. He had his own room and his own toys, and every night at bedtime, Mama told him the same story. We chose you when you were a tiny baby because you had lost your first family and needed a new one. We liked your spots and we wanted you to be our child. But Horace always fell asleep before Mama finished. They were a fine family. Horace played checkers with Papa every night, and Mama knit him special slippers so his feet would never be cold. Sometimes, when Mama made Horace eat his oatmeal and brush his teeth, or Papa made him wear his boots, Horace wished for different parents, but most of the time, he was happy. Mama planned a party for Horace's birthday. All your cousins are coming, she told him. Mama made Horace's favorite stew, and she baked a big birthday cake, and everybody sang. But Horace was sad. My spots are silly, he said, looking around the table, and I'm all the wrong colors. Later, he tried to turn his spots into stripes, but it didn't work. Then he cut some pictures out of magazines and hung them on the wall. That night, Mama tucked Horace into bed. She patted his back and told him the same story as always. We chose you when you were a tiny baby because you had lost your first family and needed a new one. We liked your spots and we wanted you to be our child. And as always, Horace fell asleep before the end. He dreamed about being someplace where everybody looked like him. In the morning, he stuffed some money and a few things into his pillowcase. He left a note on the refrigerator. The note says, I'm going to find a family where I belong. The park seemed like a good place to begin. That sign says park. A traveling carnival had set up near the duck pond, and he bought some cotton candy. He was glad not to have anyone there to remind him that he would have to brush his teeth. Then he got a ticket for the Ferris wheel. I'll be able to see everyone from up top, he told the ticket man. But when he looked down, everything was too small, and his stomach felt awful. The carnival was crowded, so Horace took the boat across the pond. He hummed a little song to help him feel brave. Then he saw them, a big family, all spotted just like him. They were having a picnic under a tree. Horace sat down on a bench and watched. Come and play with us, the littlest one called when she noticed Horace sitting by himself. And Horace went to join the others. Which one do you think is Horace? They spent the whole afternoon playing games. Horace had fun and he liked his new friends. Time for one more game before we go home, the mama called. They played hide and seek. Horace hid behind a big rock. He waited and waited. The sun was going down and the air was chilly. Horace's feet felt cold. He thought about his slippers. He wondered if Papa was waiting for him to play checkers and if Mama missed him. Here he is, somebody finally shouted, but Horace didn't feel like playing anymore. Come with us, his new friend said. Horace shook his head. I want to go home now, he said. Horace caught the last boat back across the pond. The carnival was all shut down, but Mama and Papa were there, and they were looking for him. In a flash, he was in Mama's arms. At bedtime, Mama told Horace the story again. We chose you when you were a tiny baby because you had lost your first family and needed a new one. We liked your spots, and we wanted you to be our child. And this time, Horace listened all the way to the end. Mama, he said just before he closed his eyes, if you chose me, can I choose you too? That would be very nice, Mama said. Then I do, Horace whispered, and he was asleep. The end.